So here we are. It is Agile Ventures. It is EuroAsia Scrum. It is, I believe, a Tuesday. I'm a bit worse for wear, having not as much as I would like. Things going on from Agile Ventures. We've got a whole slew of different pull requests from different Agile Ventures folk, mainly on local support. At least they're the ones that I'm looking at the moment. I will just, if I can find the thing, draw that attention to. Yeah, here we go. So this is something, you know, if you're getting involved in Agile Ventures, or particularly in the different projects, is you want to be kind of reviewing and commenting on, where possible, the pull requests that are coming in. So we've got, you know, a number of pull requests here. I'm just commenting on this one from Alexander, who's another new developer, and he's just doing a little something to fix it. Yeah, he's working on a bug fix there, and I'm giving him, you know, a little code review in there. But yeah, that's the main thing for me, I guess. Oh, we've got the Autograders project. I guess I've got the Autograders meeting coming up later today, which I've totally forgotten to flag for. So I add that to my list of things to do. Yeah, Autograder meeting prep. Yeah, that's about the size of it. Local sports client meeting on Thursday. Yeah, there we go. How are you guys doing there? Should we start with Zivko? How are things with you?
Not bad, sir. Not bad. I played last night Dungeons and Dragons with the team upstairs.
Right.
We reached the boss, but yeah, prepared. Very, very tough.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Oh yes, Dungeons and Dragons. Yes, the one true path, of course. Good show. Glad to hear it. Anything from on local support side from you?
We're just going to pair with Harry.
Okay.
And we were just looking at. We ran the project locally yesterday. And let me share a screen. And basically, this one here. In our local support, here we have home and login. Whereas if we go to the original website, there is organization, volunteers, and then, and so we were just thinking, are we missing?
Yeah, I think you probably are. I think that probably there's a couple of key things from this. What is it? Give me this button. Let me screen share myself. Go over here. So if we have a look over here at this in the wiki and look at the installation procedure, installations, OSX install, have you run the feature flags instructions?
I think I have. I definitely run them in the Rails console, and I created them. I might not have enabled them though.
Right. So I think that I think that these, you know, that those elements are switched on and off via features. I might be. We can just have it. Anyway, I mean, also the thing to do with anything like this is to, you know, have a look at the code base and look at the relevant part of the system. So we've got the views here, and that's going to be in the layout. So we've got the let's make it a bit bigger. So we've got the, what have we got? We've got the header. Here we go. So the header in here, make that a bit bigger. What have we got here? So header, yeah, there are the. So you can see here we've got, this is the drop down for the admin. There, we've got, that's the drop down for the login. That's all there. Okay, here we go. Yeah, and so you can see here we've got like this thing here. Feature active volunteer ops list there. Link to home. Yeah, volunteers. Yeah, there you go. So actually we've got, I mean, it's badly named here, but basically this feature being on turns on these two tabs there. So yeah, I mean, well, I guess the thing to do there, if we're looking at that, is in your local development, there's basically these two things. So I mean, if you go to your, you know, if you go to like your Rails console,
yes,
and you could just do like feature.all to see a list of the features. You might Yeah, feature.all. So at the moment you've got volunteers.create in there and volunteer.list, but they're both, neither of them are active. So you might want to do the feature activate volunteer ops list. I think you've done the words active rather than activate.
Oh, sorry.
And you don't need the parentheses, so you could just delete the parentheses there. And leave a space, that's it, exactly. Just hit return. Don't need to go to the underline. There you go. So now if you reload your site, which you don't in principle need to restart the server, you can just reload it, but I guess you maybe had shut it down from before. So, and you know, you can control, what is it, command click on the localhost when it comes up in the Rails console. There you go. So,
I don't know how.
okay. Well, if you go back, I'll just go back to the console there. Yeah, and if you scroll up in the console there to where you started up, there's a well, actually, but basically, anywhere in any console like that where you see like a URL, you can just sort of like command. I mean, the easiest thing to do here probably because just do Control C to shut it down.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Control C and hit up. Just hit up there. See, I'm always trying to save things. So you could just have hit the up key instead of typing that. But see there, it says HTTP localhost 3000. So mouse over that and then do like Control click or I forget which one it is. Just hold down. There you go. Open URL.
Ah, I see.
And that just, I mean, I'm all about saving little typing things there.
Oh, lovely. Didn't know that. Thank you.
You're most welcome. But what I'll also mention there is actually, just as I look at this, I mean, there is, you know, there's an argument here about we've kind of, that I can see just looking at this, that there's a slight refactoring needed here. I mean, one, that indentation, I'm not so keen on that indentation. And this is the volunteer ops list. And really this organizations thing shouldn't be inside it, I don't think. I mean, I would say that needs to be, can I move that up and down like this? Oh no, I pressed it wrong. Oh no, don't do that. I was just in, can I move it up and down like that? No. I was finding it in Sublime with Control and Command, I can move lines up and down. But it seems to me, just looking at that should be here. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think that I can remember that this feature being requested, and the person who did it has added it inside there, but I think that's probably wrong. So I mean, that if you wanted to, I mean, this might, if you know, I know you guys are going to look at that other bigger feature, but I could create a little ticket just for that, and you could, you know, practice doing a smaller cycle, you know, of pull requests and so on, and we can get you committing to the code base earlier if you're interested. Does that sound like a?
Yeah, that sounds great. If you can do a ticket, then
yeah, let's do a little ticket for that. So we'll just add that into the backlog, and this is kind of a chore really. So we've got notice that organization header link is inside volunteer feature. I mean, it's interesting that one can argue that there's this whole feature thing, like you might well want to also read about. I don't know where that goes. Where did it go? Oh no, go over here. Yeah, is that there's these like feature flag instructions, and so that understanding feature flags is an important thing. You might want to read Martin Fowler's article on that. There's an interesting thing having introduced a feature flag. I mean, the basic thing is that you want to be able to roll out the code, but not necessarily have the change take place on the main site. And you want to like roll out the code so you've got everything, it's all there, the site seems to be running otherwise, and then be able to turn on or turn off that feature as appropriate for your customers and so on. Now, from the site initially was sort of for a directory, and then we added this subsequent feature for the volunteer thing. So being able to turn that on or off sort of makes sense in terms of the software. Although you can argue something, once you've actually deployed something that's just being used, it's going to be used forever, you could almost remove the feature. I think in this case, at the minimum, it just makes sense to pull this. So this is in the layouts. So we'll just add some more to the ticket. So we've got, this is in views, layouts, header, so org link seems to be inside. This is a volunteer feature flag, which seems wrong. Should be moved out and indenting checked to ensure that tests still pass and update if necessary. Because there might be, the test might have been written with the feature flag being turned off or whatever. But so your mission, should you decide to accept it, is to find that test and sort it out. Okay, so there you go. That's a new chore which has, just popped to the bottom of the current. So you guys there, if you're interested in working on that, I can get you in. So we've got Zivko. Mr. Venables, you may or may not be in this system. Do you have, let me see, an email address that is appropriate to use to invite you into Pivotal Tracker?
I do indeed. It would be Venables H.
Nables H.
At yahoo.co.uk.
Okay, so you are invited. Why is it always extra? Okay, and you are invited, and we go back over here, and I guess if we'll just close that. So then, I mean, this is an interesting thing here for, this is a really important part of the process actually, is that it's tempting to just sort of like kick software around all the time. I mean, you have fun with it. So, you guys are used to doing code wars and this, that, and the other. But one of the key things in a project when you're working with other people is to get into this kind of habit. And it's easy to fall out of it. I'm not doing it myself. I was working on something this morning. I'm like, no, I should make a ticket. The number one rule is always make a ticket for whatever you're working on. And then when you start working on it, do whatever is the procedure for that organization to indicate that you've started working. So we've created the ticket. What you should do now, Zivko, and I think you've got that up there, if you're planning to start work on that, is just click the start button there.
Okay, so start.
Yeah, so you click the start button. And what happens is that will move that. See, it happened on my screen as well. That moves that up into here. And that means that we know that that's the thing that you're working on. Now, potentially, we may also be able to add Mr. Venables. We can in as well. And so now we've got, why did that remove it? We have two coming. There we go, yes. So now what we can see here is that we've got, I'm down as the person who's requested it. This is, refactoring from the project manager. You guys are now the owners of this story. And so anybody else in principle who's, encountering this issue or what have you, you see how what people are working on, what's going on is now transparent to the team. And that's it's kind of safer because, if the danger with all this kind of setup is that people work on the same things in parallel, or they work on things that conflict with each other and they don't communicate. And so getting into this sort of habit and this sort of flow is kind of key. And different companies and organizations will use different variations of this, but the essential kind of communication with the team is the same, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Cool. So have a go on that, and yes, we can check in later in the day. And of course, feel free to any kind of questions at all. I should be less busy than I was yesterday. Fingers crossed. Yes, of course, we've got the local support channel where you can see kind of the flow of other stuff going on. Anyway, focus on that. As I when you're, maybe we'll talk in person at some point later. But as I was saying, the the kind of pull requests, like there's a flow. I mean, I'll show you them. Like we've got, for example, this is the Makers Academy engineering board, and so this uses Waffle, but we have QA. So basically, any day, anybody who's on the engineering team, they should be looking over. Like we're all getting eyes on things that are in the QA funnel. So the equivalent for the QA funnel for our project is the pull requests. So it's a good idea to be looking over these things. Of course, in the first instance, you may not understand necessarily everything that's going on, but to get involved, it's important to follow the conversation that the rest of the team is having, and it's all about learning here. So, if there's something that looks interesting and you don't understand, ask questions in the pull request, and these are all nice people, and they will be nice to you, or I will slap them around, as is the usual Tansaku guarantee. They're just like, they never need slapping around from me, because this is a hand-selected, lots of lovely people. Cool. Anything else we need to work out, or is that good for the moment?
We'll start working on this, and we'll see where
Sounds
we
good.
get at, and we'll catch up at 3:45. Is it?
Yeah, that's a 3:45 is the next thing. But yeah, if it, feel free to say reach out in Slack, and if you're seriously stuck, then I can come over in person because we happen to be in the same office. So, good stuff, guys. Excellent. Have fun. All right. Bye for now.
See you later.